Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan also sits on House Oversight and joins us now, sir. It's good to have you back on.
Good to be with you, Rob.
Congressman, did you find conclusive evidence of the Autopen being used without Biden's knowledge or approval?
Well, here's the bottom line. First of all, the country knew, certainly in that debate with President Trump, the country knew that President Biden just was not up to the task. Mm-hmm. So any signature that takes place after that fact with the Autopen, I think, is a real concern for the American, because American people could see it with their own eyes. Second, Joe Biden said there was a process. There was a process that was followed, and there were certain things you had to do and things you had to check off in order to have this happen. Well, it looks like that wasn't the case based on the investigation done by the Oversight Committee. And so I think, again, this is now in the hands of the Justice Department. We'll see what the Attorney General decides to do with this information. But I think it just confirms sort of some basic things. The country knew he wasn't up to the task. Certainly they knew that after that debate performance in the summer of 2024. Joe Biden said there was a process that was followed based on the investigation of the Oversight Committee. There really wasn't one. And then you finally, I would add, just some of the people that were deposed just took the fifth. They took the fifth to questions that you wouldn't think you would have to take the fifth for, frankly. So again, I think this all warrants the Justice Department taking a good look at this, and we'll see what happens.
I think a lot of people would be interested in seeing Joe Biden, somehow if you could interview him and just ask him, try to figure out a way to make him have to remember. Because, that soundbite that we played in the introduction montage where you've got, Mike Johnson sitting there talking to him about an executive order that he had just ordered a couple weeks ago. I think it was on energy, and he had no idea what the hell he thought that he had done the opposite. Think about how crazy it is that you had this allegedly moderate Democrat president, a moderate his whole life, and you had all of these zealots in there working around him, and they realized we can kind of do whatever we want. We've ridden this Trojan horse into power. So how do you get Biden? Is there a way to subpoena him, get him under oath, and be like, did you know about this?
I just don't think that's going to happen. Bringing back in a former president, I think that's tough to do. But you're right. It seemed. Remember in the debate, I will never forget in the debate when Joe Biden said he was an eight handicap. Yeah. Oh, come on, man! Everyone knows you can barely get off a bicycle, for goodness sake. And I don't want to be mean to the former president, because we all wish our president was fully capable of handling the job, but it just obviously wasn't. But if you can't get off the bicycle, there's no way you're an 8 handicap, and yet he told the whole country that. And it was I think my favorite. President Trump's response was, I've seen your swing.
My favorite line from Trump was, it's just, I know your swing. I've seen your swing. Like, you're not an 8. It was one of the best moments of the debate. And it really did. It showed just how far he had fallen, which was sad to see. But at the same time, you're running the frickin' country and you're running it into the ground. I want to play this moment just to speak to that. Here's Biden at the Edward M. Kennedy Institute saying that these are very dark days right now in the U.S.
In my over 50 years in elected public life, this is the worst I've seen it. Our very democracy is at stake, in my view.
How do you respond to that after the 4 years we went through with him? Right now we're kind of cleaning a lot of things up.
The border's secure, taxes have been cut, men aren't in women's sports, there's peace in the Middle East, the agreement, the hostages are free, Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon, and he's complaining. What we've seen in 9 months of President Trump's phenomenal. And all kinds of other things happening that are just positive, not to mention what President Trump accomplished in his first term, putting the embassy in Jerusalem, putting 3 conservatives on the highest court, on and on we could go. And Joe Biden, the guy who told the country he's an 8 handicap, is critiquing that. You got to be kidding me. So, no one falls for that.
It's interesting because he's angry. The real impetus for all of their anger is the border and the fact that we're just deporting the 20 million people that they invited into this country. And because that process looks messy and it's on CNN every night and it looks like it's, sad to watch, they're tugging at the heartstrings of people. They don't realize these people don't belong here in the first place. And we've invited in problems that you can't even imagine. Real quick before I let you go, the government shutdown looking like at this point, Republicans are polling better. So this is a huge loss for Schumer and Jeffries. It might have to end without them even able to save face, which I think would be politically just devastating for them.
Yeah, I hope that just the common sense prevails here, and common sense plus the fact that the Federal Public Employee Union just said the government needs to be open. Air traffic controllers are sending signals. I think this is sending a message to the Democrats. Oh, maybe we shouldn't have done this crazy move. Maybe we should have voted for the thing we voted for 6 months earlier, for goodness sake. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Congressman, good to see you again. Thanks so much.
You too, Rob. Thanks.